or this day, this evening. That same pattern that we feel that we go and find that joy, that happiness, right? But at the end of the day, is that same emptiness. You know, when all that fake, all that fakeness that surrounds us departs and goes away, we're back to that same lonesome situation that we encounter ourselves. But tonight or today, I'm here to tell you about a different scenario that can be in your life. If you start depending on God, like how I started depending on God, well, let me tell you, that's when our life can change. You know, because if we depend on our own intelligence, our own strength, well, we're only going to be able to action according to our own intelligence and our own strength. Amen? But when we start depending on God, then, we're limited to His greatness. We depend on God. And let me tell you, I found myself one time in a situation where the greatest doctors of the place where I was located, they told me, go see a therapist. We go see therapists. They said, go seek a therapist. We go see therapists sometimes too. And let me tell you, me being the man that I was, it was hard, to go look for a therapist. But I went one time. But after that one time, that's when I decided, I'm going to go seek God. And when I went and I entered, nobody invited me, nobody told me about a church. I looked up on Google, there's a lot of churches. And that's what I'm here to tell you at this time. If you're listening, it's not about trying to bring you to come to our church. I'm talking to you to tell you about bringing you to the feet of God, to the path of God. You can go to any church. If God is there, God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. But there was myself, finding myself looking for God, and I surrendered. I told God, here I am. I'm done. Me being a man of power, honestly, I can say, because money brings you power, in the world. And I found myself, even with money, with friendships, and everything around us, it wasn't buying me what I needed. And that's the message that I'm here to tell you right now. That God gives you what money doesn't buy. God gives you what friends can't give you. God gives you the unreachable. And here I was finding myself looking for peace. I couldn't sleep. As simple as it may sound, I could not sleep one night. I cannot buy peace to sleep at night. And I went to this church, and the pastor was talking about a sermon. There's those times when you go to church and you're like, hey, I feel like this guy knows me, or who told him about me, right? And the pastor starts